So as we all know, YouTube sub boxes can be fucked up, so if you don't want to miss an upload, feel free to go to my channel, click the bell, and then click send all notifications for this channel, and click save. This will give you all the notifications for my upload, and it will help out the channel. So with that said, thanks for supporting the channel. Let's get into the video. So if you didn't know, women make up a very small portion of CSGO. I mean very small. So what ends up happening is you have a lot less women players, and this actually affects things all the way up to the pro women's CSGO level. And yes, there actually is a fucking pro league for only women. Oh my god. The reason that this is so weird is that there is not a pro league for only men, because that would be kind of sexist, I guess you could say. And also the fact that there doesn't need to be a men's only league. So when people see women's only CS, they always think, well, why do women have to have their own league? Men don't have their own league. And people start getting a little bit asshole and just kind of making fun of women's CS. So let's explain a little bit why women do have their own league in Counter-Strike. So at the moment, there isn't really a top female CSGO team that could even come close to competing with the top teams in the men's division. And they want more women to play CSGO, they want more women to get into the game, and they want someone to really represent those women, it seems like, so girls who are playing the game or women who are playing the game can look and be like, alright, there's a woman, I can relate to that, alright, I like that, cool, we can keep going on with the game a little bit. And I think that's the reason that they have these women leagues, because a lot of the women in the game, and I don't think there is one woman right now that can really compete with the top teams in the men's division, or the all people division, because that's what I like to call it, because everyone can fucking play there. But yes, there's no one just good enough to play there right now, so they went and created their own division with their own prize money, and I'm actually fine with it. The women's division isn't nearly as good as everyone else's division, as we can see by teams like CLG Red, who seem to be CSGO ESEA main or premier teams, and they're not really doing too well there. And if you don't know, the way the system works is it goes open, then intermediate, and then main, and then premier, and then professional. So they're not even in the professional division on ESEA, which says something kind of about the best women's team in Counter-Strike, and it says that they're just not as good. And people always speculate that why aren't women as good as men in CSGO, and there's actually studies that go to show about reaction time. I don't know how true those are, though. I would have to look into that more. I'm gonna put a link down to the article down in the description down below, and I'm gonna let you decide that for yourself. But yes, a lot of people like to say that it's just because there aren't many women in CSGO and they're not really pushed to be the best in CSGO, and CSGO is like predominantly a male dominated thing, so that means that you're probably gonna have more males at the top level, which just makes sense mathematically. The only problem that these women leagues create, though, is that you have these pro players, and yes, I'm going to use quotes here because they're playing at a level way below the top tier pro level, and they're getting paid a lot for it. And you know what? I don't have a problem with people getting paid. If the sponsors are there and the money's there, then go for it. Get paid to play Counter-Strike. That is the dream. That is what everyone wants to do. And I feel like the people who come at CLG Red or any of these other professional women teams are just kind of a little bit ass hurt that just because they're women, they're getting paid to pretty much do something that a lot of these men players really aren't getting paid to do. But when it comes down to it, it comes down to the open market, and it comes down to who's willing to pay for these things. And another problem with the women league, though, is that a lot of these women, they don't really have to try as hard as the men players. And that's not to say that they're not trying as hard. It's just to say that the level of competition isn't nearly as high, and they're getting paid a good amount to, you know, not play at a higher level of competition. So what's really the incentive there to get better and to get to the league where the top tier pros are playing, if all you have to do is just continue to play at the level you're at, not really need to improve too much, and you can just dominate the women's division and get paid for that? That's why I don't think we're ever really going to see women at the top level of pro CSGO anytime soon, just because they can easily stomp the women division and get paid for it, and that's kind of a problem. But on the other hand of that, though, you have to look at it as women CSGO could actually be growing CSGO to a new audience. It could actually be bringing more women into CSGO, like I said before, because they can look at someone that, you know, they actually relate with. So what this might in turn lead to is a lot of women getting into the game initially, then getting better and better and better, and all it takes is 1 or 2 women to have that drive to get to the top level of pro CSGO, and a lot of them probably have it now. But if someone can actually reach that level as a woman, then that would mean that maybe more and more women will start to fluctuate over to the pro league, and maybe we won't need these women leagues anymore. But as it stands right now, I think the women leagues are actually not a huge part of CSGO, but something that is good for the community. And I feel like a lot of the people bitching on Reddit and a lot of people bitching on Twitter, they just don't really understand the situation, and they wish that they could get paid to play at a main level. And I understand where they're coming from, but you have to realize that this is only good for the game, and it's only good for growing the community out even more, and it's only good for bringing out more women into CSGO, which, in my opinion, isn't really a bad thing. But yeah, I ran a poll on Twitter and you guys wanted me to talk about women in CSGO, so here are my opinions on women in CSGO. Feel free to tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about women in CSGO? What do you think about the women-only leagues? Do you think they should be a thing? Do you think they should not be a thing? Feel free to tell me why in the comments down below. I really like reading your guys' comments, and if you like this video, how about you hit that like button, and if you dislike this video for some odd reason, hit that dislike button, and if you are new, how about you subscribe? But yeah, guys, this has been The Chosen One Inc., and as always, peace out. But yeah, you guys wanted me to talk about this. You wanted to talk about, and fuck.